So, hi everyone. Thanks for joining the third series of the June CoARA Spotlight series for June 2026. We're very excited to be spotlighting Cascade funding project CoARA ExPECT today. And I will pass the floor over to my colleague Damini Pantaleon to give a brief overview of the Cascade funding projects before we get started.
Thanks, Achinra. So, hi everyone, my name is Damini. I am project officer at CoARA Secretariat hosted at ESF, and I'm overseeing the Cascade funding program. So, CoARA Boost Cascade funding project is a program in which we have supported and funded a total of 53 initiatives for three types of projects across two calls, one in 2024 and one in 2025. So the project we have supported of three kinds. We have individual project to test new approaches within a single institutions, a teaming project, bringing several organizations together to co-develop and pilot practices. And finally, we have the most advanced level, I would say, about implementing systematic reforms at organizational level through the institute project type. This project I've collectively experimented with new ways of assessing research aligned with the CoARA principles and ARA, and also exploring practical improvement in real-world context to improve how research is evaluated. Today, we turn to a spotlight one of this initiative and one of these projects from Call One, a teaming project whose outputs were endorsed a few months ago and are now available on the CoARA collections and on YouTube. I believe that Katrina is going to share the links in a few. And this project offers a concrete insight into how these ideas that we have implemented through the Cascade funding program can work in practice and be reused by the global coalition for responsible research and researchers' assessment. We'll now leave the floor to Matthias, program manager of CoARA, to introduce today's speakers.
Thank you, Dominique. So we have a very interesting topic today. We have with us Miki Kallio and from the University of Oulu in Finland, and Stefan Riedel from the Ruhr-Universität of Bochum in Germany. And they are representing here the Cascade-funded project ExPECT, which produced a series of, I think, 13 videos, explanatory videos around all aspects of research assessment. And they will, 19 videos, 19 videos. So, and they will present the outcome of the projects and the video collection for us today. And after the presentation, we will have time for some Q&A as well. And I think we will post also the link to the video collection in the chat. So if you want to look after this seminar or this webinar onto the videos themselves, then they are available all online on a dedicated YouTube channel. And now, Miki, Stefan, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Katrina, Damini, and Matthias. Maybe I start sharing the slides now.
It's perfect. Miki starts sharing the slides and I start talking. Meanwhile,
should I say something?
No, that's fine. We agreed upon that I will start, so I will start. So thank you for the invitation and for the kind introduction. And as Matthias already said, this is the outcome of the teaming project led actually or coordinated by Miki at the University of Oulu and with the Ruhr-University, which I'm representing, as well as the University of Tampere, also from Finland, who was also one of the partners in that teaming project. And to, let you know what ExPECT actually means, that for us, it means exchange and promote evaluation criteria changes together. And we were funded in the first round of the Cascade funding as a teaming project and had this 1-year project in which we produced the 19 videos about which Miki will talk in a bit in more detail. But to give you an idea what we actually did and what our goals are, we will already start with the first glimpse of the very first video, because I think the video tells us better than I could. So Miki, you could just launch the...
This is the first in the series of instructional videos designed to support scientific peer reviewers in their work. Additionally, the videos serve as a support tool for assessment boards and committees, decision makers based on assessments, and preparers of assessments, particularly in HR services. We also hope this series will be of interest to researchers whose work is being evaluated, as well as to publishers and funders who engage with peer review in different ways. This first video outlines the challenges of research assessment that reform efforts aim to address. It introduces the general principles of responsible research assessment and explains why the reform of the assessment is not just helpful, but essential. Other videos in the series will cover various evaluation situations, give examples of good practices, and how to implement the change towards more responsible researcher assessment. In academia, how we evaluate researchers and their work matters. Researchers need to trust that they will be evaluated responsibly, which starts with knowing in advance what kind of activities and outcomes are valued and how they will be considered. Metrics, such as the journal impact factor and H-index, which have often been used to assess the quality of research, have been shown to be poor proxies that often fall short in capturing the true impact and value of scientific contributions. There is also a danger that these metrics focus on quantity.
Stop, Miki. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So this is just to give you a brief first glimpse already in what we did. So the overarching goal of our project was that we wanted really to foster the culture of responsible research assessment by emphasizing the quality, impact, sustainability, and also the diversity of research across academic communities. And specifically, we wanted to use or create something, that's where we started at least, that raises awareness for this necessity to actually reform how we assess research and according to what is already laid out in the ARA on the agreement on reforming research assessment by CoARA. So our main achievements were, on the one hand, that we really intensified exchange between the three universities and even beyond that. So during our work on the project, we also engaged with various other institutions already, and to really share our vision and to spread the news, so to say, or the word. And of course, the main graspable impact or achievement was the production of these 19 videos that address various aspects of research assessment. They are about, I would say starting from 2.5 minutes up to 5 minutes plus. So the first one, where you just saw the very first part, is among the longer ones. Miki, could you just go ahead once more? So just to really briefly show how we did this within this 1 year project. So we started by fine-tuning our ideas, and then we had several face-to-face meetings at all the three universities involved, with scientists, with our colleagues in the university's administration, really to discuss the topics of the videos and to get their input, to see what actually matters to them and what topics we should address in these videos. And then we had also feedback loops back and forth until we finally stepped into producing the videos at the third step. And finally, then we actually still are, and for a while will be, I'm pretty sure, in the fourth stage of broadcasting our results, both at all our universities, but even beyond. So now in the Spotlight series, which is of course very welcome to do so, but also we attended conferences, and Miki especially still does, to really advertise this even further and to try to make this available to as many people as possible, and hope that this is actually very useful output to them. So now I will maybe with the next slide just say a very few words. So we structured these the 19 videos in 5 broader categories, which you can see here. So the first one is dealing with aspects of foundations and significance of responsible research assessment. So more really general introductions, I would say. Then we have some videos about the assessment processes, some more on the evaluator guidelines and instructions on depending on different purposes and career stages. I think most videos are actually part of the assessment criteria and tools where we address specific issues. And then the final one, because also they came in quite late in our ideas and didn't really fit into one of the other four. We have 2 videos dealing with the use or also the misuse, of course, of metrics. And having said this, I will now hand over to Miki, who will give you more detailed insights into all these 5 categories.
Thanks, Stefan. Okay, so yes, we really have these 5 categories for our videos, and maybe the categorizing is not perfect. Maybe Stefan already said something like that, but we really wanted to classify the videos at least roughly into different groups and use different color themes and narrator voices for each groups. And as we mentioned already earlier, so there are all the links, names of the videos, and links to the original files. So next I will go through the categories in a little more detail and at the same time tell you about the content of an example video of each category. This first or purple category tells us the basics about the need for an assessment reform. And here we have 3 videos. And this example video is about changing the culture. So this video looks at how research assessment has evolved over time. It also highlights that responsible assessment calls for cultural shift or change towards more qualitative judgment, greater transparency and fairness so that researchers can better understand how they are being assessed. This green category describes the assessment process, its planning, preparation and implementation. The videos also go through different evaluation situations and actors, the importance of transparency in assessment processes, and the recognition of, for example, open science practices. Here we have 4 videos, and the example 1 addresses unconscious bias in academia and its significant impact on review processes. It also emphasizes the need for clear policies and especially guidelines to support fair research assessment. This blue category was at the heart of the project when we started. So the idea for making the videos came actually from the fact that we received feedback telling that reviewers did not have enough time and energy to read the long instructions. So we decided to compile the instructions into short instructional videos. And 3 of these, the first ones here, are really instructions to evaluators, but then the 4th one highlights how important it is to choose and especially prepare evaluators carefully. It also highlights that before selecting evaluators, organizations need to be clear about the purpose and of the assessment and the criteria being used, while also considering factors such as disciplinary background, methodological expertise, and career stage. Our next category, orange, brings together tool tips and videos related to assessment criteria. So the 3 first ones are really about tools, and then this example video addresses the question of how the quality of research can be assessed. It specifies the key aspects of high quality research such as transparency, the importance of open science principles and practices, as well as the diversity of research outputs. The value of failure is important, and the importance of reproducibility and potential impact of research also. And like Stefan said, this last kind of extra category, only 2 videos, misuse or use of journal-based metrics. And the first video is actually been one of the most popular so far, but age index. But this example now, in this video, we look at why journal-based metrics such as impact factor or national classification systems are not suitable for assessing researchers. Instead, the video encourages a more responsible and well-rounded approach to research assessment. So those were the videos we produced, and this is the team we had. So the scripts were written by Markku from Tampere, Stefan and Katarina from Bochum, and then Kaisu, Marika, Jani and me from Oulu. But our real star was actually Emmi, who made the storyboards and animations. And sure, we couldn't have managed without our university's video support team, Harri, Kale, and Jenna. But I suppose we can now check another example video here, and this is 3 minutes, so let's watch it whole video now.
Today, we will explore the Career Assessment Matrix and how you can use it to showcase your merits and advance your academic career. The Career Assessment Matrix, or CAM, is a tool designed to help you systematically highlight your merits and competencies in different areas of expertise. You can use it in all assessment situations. The assessment matrix can be national, such as the Norwegian NorCam, or Finnish FinCam, theme-specific, such as the Open Science Matrix OSCAM, or organisation-specific, such as the University of Oulu's matrix. The main purpose of the matrix is to provide a structured and transparent way of presenting the variety of merits that different stakeholders, such as universities, research funders, and countries value. The matrix includes different areas of competence that should be considered in all relevant assessment situations. These areas of competence reflect the various activities of researchers. Both evaluators, for example organisations, peer reviewers or supervisors, and those being evaluated can use the matrix for assessments related to recruitment, career development, personal performance, rewards and salaries. The matrix tells the evaluator what merits the organisation values. In addition, the person being evaluated can select self-relevant merits from the matrix and record them, for example, in a CV, portfolio, or research information system, and highlight them in the evaluation situation. The structure of the assessment matrices may vary. For example, they can highlight key competencies, in other words, the most important areas of competence, which should be assessed whenever they are relevant to the assessment situation. Or the starting point can be skills and competencies, along with suggestions on how they can be described both qualitatively and quantitatively. However, all models emphasize that the list presented is not exhaustive. Furthermore, it is essential to note that an individual academic is not expected to excel in every area. The matrix is a toolbox. Not all tools are used at the same time. Only those that are most relevant to the specific assessment situation should be used. An important aspect of this approach is that the weighting of each criterion should reflect your background and contributions. For instance, if you are transitioning from industry to academia, it is likely that you will not have a strong publication or open data record, but you will bring strengths in other areas. This approach helps to highlight your unique contributions and align them with the organization's values.
Is it so that, Stefan, you will say some final words now?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent.
Thank you, Miki. Yes. No, now I hope that we have given you an insight of what we actually did. Of course, you can check out all the videos in more detail. And as Miki emphasized, they are structured in these, and now you saw two examples in these color coding and also with the, well, that you see that some topics are more interlinked maybe than others. And basically, there are, I would say, it's a twofold thing. The one we departed upon, which Miki also emphasized, was that with these instructional videos, really more being more, well, hands-on, I would say, and giving really advice of how to, well, assess research in different settings. And what during our project, I would say, became almost, well, I don't know if almost, but I would say equally important, is that we really also created more overarching topics and videos that can really be used more also to raise the awareness for the necessity to reform our assessment and how we really assess research to make really these holistic evaluations that are based on transparent criteria, which really fit to what CoARA is aiming at. And we hope that we can contribute with this, since we are deeply convinced actually that this reform is more than necessary, and we really want to support that with our videos and hope that these are also, well, valuable for others in many contexts. So thank you, and I would say I will hand over to Matthias as the moderator.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
I mean, it's really, really interesting to see, and I think as well it's a great way also to spread best practices and at least what you say, raise awareness, of what is out there, which goes nicely with the 3-minute videos. Then if someone has to read really a lot of pages of technical documents. So thanks a lot. I think it's a really great outcome. Before I'm opening the round for questions, I have one. How long does it take, or did it take, to produce, for example, one of those, let's say, a 3-minute videos? I mean, yeah, just how much work is it actually to go into there?
Well, that I would start answering before Miki comes with the technical details, because it of course depends on what you see as a starting point. I mean, thinking about the topics and discussing this with, as I mentioned in these face-to-face meetings, of course, takes a bit more time and preparation. But when we finally had these topics and really writing the scripts, and nowadays, actually, at least I have to admit, also using AI a bit in parts, that was okay, I would say, in terms of time consuming. But of course, the technical production, Miki, there you can say more what how much time Emmy actually used.
Yeah, thanks, Stefan. So anyway, I must say that writing the scripts was probably the hardest work anyway. So it took probably most time, even though we were using AI, at least in some videos. But so Emmy was working 8 weeks and then 1 extra week in autumn to fix on the videos that were kind of broken after our first preview. So but she was really, really talented and fast in making these videos. So when we were interviewing the candidates, she was the only one who said that, okay, in 2 months, of course, I can make 20 videos for you guys. Everybody else said that it's impossible. So of course, it depends on the person who is making the animations and storyboards. She was really, 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 really good in that. So impossible to say how much it takes time, but not so bad anyway. So I was surprised that we could make this 19 in basically 2 months anyway.
I mean that sounds good. I mean, it's just like also something that that we were also thinking. I mean, after we received your videos, we actually said as well, like, oh, it would be something nice to have something like this for CoARA in general, and so on and so forth. So it's nice to have a first-hand experience. So thanks a lot for that. So I will now open the room for questions. Any questions, remarks, critics? So if you have something, please just raise your hand and switch off your camera if you want to. And yeah.
I think we have a question from Juliana. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Juliana, you are talking. Exactly, I see it.
Yes. So can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
So thanks a lot. Very interesting. I would like to ask you this question. Can we imagine a sort of localization, a sort of translation of these video materials? Because I think that could be a good idea to have the video series of some videos in different languages. What do you think about?
So should I start?
Yeah.
Okay, so for us it's impossible now because our project is already over. But also, of course, the captions, subtitles, one can translate easily. But for the narrator voices, voiceovers, that's basically we should break the videos, I suppose, and start. At least it's impossible for me and Stefan, so should have some technical person adding those. But basically, it's of course okay and possible. And if you want to do that, we can deliver the original materials, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would also just add that I mean, due to our workload, it's not possible for us, and we discussed that. I remember that in Finland, I discussed with some of the participants who said, well, some of our evaluators are actually Finnish speaking, and shouldn't it be in Finnish then? And we said, yeah, but then, of course, you kind of narrow it also to very specific contexts, and it would be nice to have it in all languages, of course, but that's really a lot of work to do. And so we decided first, at least, to go for English, which is hopefully suitable for most, and then, yeah.
Of course, thank you.
Actually a very nice nice thing that you basically be able to or be ready to share the original material to in case someone would like to translate them in their own language. So this goes for everyone here. So if someone is interested in doing that, either contact Miki and Stefan directly or also via the secretariat. We are very happy to produce to make the contact then.
I don't know if I dare to advertise, but Emmy, who was making these videos, so she was a student during the time she was making last summer, but now she's graduated this spring. So also maybe she would be interested if somebody wants to use her talent for make these kind of new videos or modify these.
Miki? Absolutely. So if anyone is interested, so let us know. We will also, of course, provide contact to the student as well. Anything else? Any other comments, critics? Well, I guess everyone is off to Stefan.
Yeah, myself, I have a comment which I actually forgot to say during the presentation, because there is, since we were a teaming project, I wanted to really highlight that it really worked very well as a team, and that it's really worthwhile to work with other institutions on very similar topics where you learn, and the output of the videos, I think, and especially with the last one Miki showed about the career assessment metrics, that is something that I, for myself, and also my university, didn't really know before, I would say. I mean, they knew that there was something similar, but they didn't really know how to address this. So there was really, the exchange was very, very fruitful, and I hope to that is true for both sides, Mickey. But especially for us, I mean, I learned, or we really learned a lot during that project. So it's really, I just wanted to emphasize that in the end.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Wait, Miki, go ahead.
Sorry. So I had to agree that it was an excellent project and really much fun, I must say. That we learned a lot, but also it was kind of maybe the best project we have so far.
Yeah, I can imagine as well that there is also a little bit, you know, the way is a little bit the goal or the aim, so that you are basically all the research and you are doing, especially of course with teaming, it's very nice. Okay. Olivia is asking, can you comment on the first uptake of the videos in your institutions?
Yeah, I can comment. I mean, we shared that with our whole university. So, I mean, the general intent, of course, was to make these videos available to everybody who's interested. That's why they are open access and easily available for everybody. So we shared that in our institutions. But since, well, at least I don't know if you're familiar with this excellence strategy in Germany, which is still ongoing, and our university is still in the competition. So there were lots of times used for other things. So I cannot yet tell how many people it actually reached. But there were, I mean, we promoted them also in our university, and we are still, well, on our way in doing so. But they are, at least for now, not yet already implemented in, for example, evaluation processes as we hope they will be. But Miki, maybe in your case, it's a bit different.
Not so much different, but so we have also integrated those to our, of course, instructions and evaluation kind of processes also. But of course, it's very difficult to say that how, for example, how well researchers are familiar with the videos so far. But I must say that it was really a nice thing that our vice rector for research said that actually when starting certain research-related meetings, one should always watch one of these videos in the meeting. So that was kind of nice policy. People would start knowing these videos quite well then.
A very nice strategy. I like that. Okay, thanks, Olivia, for the question. Any other questions, comments, remarks? I mean, now you have the chance. It's basically the director's cut here or the director's Q&A for the videos. Good. Okay. I guess really everyone is now off to see the videos. Katrina, do we want to say something else? Otherwise, I think we can close.
No, I think it's we can end here. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. I'm also going to use this as inspiration for CoARA explainer videos down the line. So thank you so much for the wonderful work. I think these videos are really informational and easy to understand and access for a wide audience. And yeah, please be in touch with the Secretariat if anyone does have inquiries about translation. I think it's a great idea as well. So we can feel free to just reach out to the Secretariat at CoARA.org or communication@CoARA.org, and we can put everyone in touch. So thanks a lot for joining. And thank you, Miki and Stefan, and everyone who came today. We'll be putting this session on our CoARA YouTube channel in the coming weeks, so stay tuned.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you as well for organizing.
Thank you.